Hey guys, so as you know, I love beautiful spots. I hesitate to tell you where it is, but my picnic table's right here. They're not even tipped over. But such a beautiful private spot. I hate to spoil it. In fact, ironically, so I just bumped into a woman with her little kid on a bicycle. And anyway, talking about, she went up to like this little beach spot. It was just beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's like, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what crossed my mind. It was such a sensual moment, though, between me and the planet. Walking through those tall, soft grasses and the sand coming up into the grasses, and then like a beachfront, basically, and then the beautiful crystal water and the breeze blowing across, and snap daddy. It was just wanted to lay down and be all in the earth and be all in nature. Just was beautiful, sensual part of the crust of the planet that I'm just at the vibration of appreciating. And talking to you fine folks about how you're going to get here and all that good stuff. But I had this thought about the bigger picture about the whole planet. You know, we're coming through the 24,000 year cycle through the galaxy that I always talk about. But we're going to the birds, we're going to the helicopter view of what's going on here with tuned in, tapped in, turned on. So from those types of views, you need to use concepts like where we are as a planet around the galaxy, and the fact that there's different vibrations at different points in the galaxy. And so there's only so connected and so enlightened we're going to be, because the collective consciousness and the guidance for all life energy on the planet is brighter up here, and we're down in the darker. And so we're going to come up in our vibration. Everything's going to make more sense, and we're going to be more loving to each other. And getting tuned in, tapped in, turned on is going to be much easier. So it's happening no matter what. You can't do it wrong. It can't not happen, and you can't even really speed it up. So it's sort of like, oh, what's even the point of my conversation? It gets back to a prior video. Bump up 10%. That's all we're really asking for. You bump up 10% on the average for the planet. That means, you know, we talked about this about a month ago. 40% of the planet is not going to really even be receptive to this message necessarily, and they're just going to come up with the planet anyway, and they'll just be where they are. And another 40% could bump up 5%, and that would be great. And they're busy, and they're working, and they got kids, and they're doctors and nurses, and they're busy people, and they're doing a lot of stuff, and they're towing their line. So I'm not saying that those people aren't part of the 20% that really need to be locked down, but regardless of your occupation or your income or anything else, you know who you are. If you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you know the difference between people who aren't. So when you realize everyone around you is disconnected, then you know you are connected. That's how you tell, because no one's going to come around and point you out and give you a calling card. I don't know why I'm holding this out here, but I still want to be caressing the beachfront. Oh, on the other side actually is where the sand beach was. That was about from here to the water from me now. It's all sandy beach with a stream running through it, running back, you know, out of the grasslands. Ugh, little birdhouses around, and everybody's busy. Anyway, if this doesn't get your vibration up, there's no hope for you. So I feel bad saying that while I'm out here. But anyway, I've not been my lack of inviting. But the woman had said, I don't think I finished that point. She said, you know, how beautiful it is. Don't tell anybody. And I'm like, just me and my camera here. So I swore I wouldn't tell you where we are. But anyhow, it's, you know, just as delicious to be next to a potted plant. If you really want to kick it up, bonsai tree is the bomb. So with a bonsai tree, I'm in the same place. I mean, that's all the bonsai tree is really for. I did those for a bit. I loved them, but I was too busy to even care for a bonsai tree. That's how bad it was for me at one point in my life. So I'm not really a plant taker carer kind of guy. I only take care of dogs if they come with me. You come with me, you're all mine, I'll take care of you. But if you're not with me, I'm not going back for a dog. So I'm not much of a caregiver from that. I'm more of a teacher, which is why I didn't get into healing. If I was tuned in, tapped in, turned on like this, and I didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to explain this process, then I would be a healer. If I didn't want to be a healer because yucky, sick people, I don't like it, and tuning in and figuring out how to teach someone else, that's not interesting to me either, then you bring it in and you let it out in music, or you let it out in art, or you let it out in education, or you let it out in, but everybody's sort of tuning in, tapping in, turning on, and letting it out. And how fast can you regroup so you can give out more? And how vulnerable can you be? How strong can you be in your commitment to doing the love thing in every situation, regardless of who's around watching you that you think you're maybe trying to impress? And you're letting go of a lot of stuff, and then we're dealing with stuff from our past and our training as a human being. We come in with a certain amount of hey, you got to protect yourself, and you got to watch out because bad things happen, and you can't trust everybody else, and all that type of stuff. It's sort of part of our animalistic ways. And thank goodness we've had, over this last low vibration for the planet going around the galaxy, that we've had people around who were physically strong and physically able and committed to learning about the material world and how matter worked and how, to build big structures, So we're going to be building big structures all the way around the 24,000 year thing. So it's just a human thing. So it's all good. We're all going to go our own direction. But there's 10% of you that will go a long way and pull a lot of people by getting really tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and figuring out how to get that out to the makers and the movers and the shakers and the mixers and the makers. Hear me, dog? So anyway, that'll happen. It's coming no matter what. The vibration's coming up for the planet no matter what, albeit slowly. But sometimes things just click, and it's a big awakening. And in springtime, things pop in quick. And our progression around the galaxy, by the way, is not at the same pace. Some parts we go fast, and some parts we go real slow. So for a while, we thought it was 25,000 years. But the psychic channel people had said 24,000 years long before. And then we finally changed ours just recently to be 24,000 years, because now we realize it is 24,000 years around the galaxy. But you could have just asked the channeled guy, long, long ago, how this all worked, and he'd explained it just like I'm explaining it to you now. But it's just easier to tap in now. The story, you can all resonate with it. It's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. It checks off a lot of boxes. But when we're getting back touch with our higher consciousness, our God source, our love energy, our soul, whatever you want to call it, when you get in better rhythm, resonance, sounds like a resident. But anyway, when you become a resident of the higher vibration, everything happens around nature and around the planet becomes beautiful, because no human isn't moved by the softness of this grass along that waterfront and the beautiful birds in the background and those beautiful clouds. Nobody isn't moved by that. Lots of people are very disconnected from that. So we just reconnect people, and especially, you want to, this will be a little pro tip, the children. Go get the kids. There's kids in Baltimore City, I know, but everywhere around the world. Not the ones in the war area, believe it or not. The kids in the war area are okay. Why? Because they have love. They have a loving parent, a loving family member. They've got people against them. They've got the war thing going on, and that's not good by any stretch. But the kid doesn't know the war thing, really. He's just being snuggled by his mom while he's running from a loud noise. Mom is loving on him, boy. She's going to take her last breath with that child in her hand. That's a super strong love. That child's going to be fine. What's the problem one is the one in Baltimore City. Those kids have the anti-love all around them. The energy that doesn't feel good about themselves is an energy sucker. It will suck it out of that child, and children don't have it to give. They're just here to integrate the love from us. We bury them with love. That's why we all coo at babies and say, "Oh, you sweet little thing." And, I'm going to have a withdrawal symptoms moment right in front of you, because I don't get to see my my girls right now because of the virus. My daughter's in a high risk. And so I'm like everybody else, you got to make those decisions. And I'm like, I don't know. You got to at least be reasonable about things. We haven't changed the vibration of the planet yet. So there's still, whatever. We're going to be safe as we can without missing out on this. That's my only argument, really. Let's just at least have coming out here be different after this event. And let's have this be the first place we go. Maybe the restaurants and the malls don't open quite yet. We open this up. But this place isn't really even closed. But anyway, a lot of them are. And I just keep my hand here. It feels so good. Anyway, all right, so let this be the first place we go. And let's get the kids out of the houses in Baltimore City, but not out of the houses. You're just going to have to bury that house in love and make all those people who are taking care of the kids either run from the love because they can't face it, but they'll never be pushed away. The love is coming in. We're coming in the door. We're banging down the door because this house needs some love. And let's make things easier on them. Take a little tiny bit off the defense budget. Solve this whole problem. It's true. You can't deny that. That's not true. It's just we don't have the will. The man does not see that as the right thing to do for its species. But anyway, so it will happen no matter what. And it may happen in my lifetime. It may happen in this week. So anyway, that's all I got to say about all that, I think, at the moment, because we're at that magical 10-minute point. So you get shortchanged because I'm going to just walk out there and be in that grass, and you guys got to go back to whatever you're doing. So hopefully you're doing something more fun than me. If you're not, take a breath, love on yourself, and say, what would your little 3 to 5 year old version of yourself being pulling you around all day today have you be right now? Where would that little body be? My little Danny body said, this looks like a good spot. All right. So I'll see you guys soon.